Okay, yes, perfect notes. This is gonna be a good show. Oh, why does my phone keep ringing? Hello? Yeah, Mom. I'm just about to start recording. It's the Hotline Show, every Friday. People call the number below. They leave a message. I spend the entire week thinking of the best answer to these really thoughtful questions and comments. And then I sit down and I start to record, and I just completely blow it and say the worst possible answer. Yeah, I know. Okay, I'll talk to you soon. Bye. Okay. Welcome back. February 9th, 2024. We're going to take some calls. Let's go.
Hi, Noah. I love your new YouTube and the Hotline Show. And I decided to call because I really used to love your newsletters and miss them. They were such a highlight every week. I just thought what you were doing there was really inspiring and unique and cool, and especially the projects where you would just kind of reveal that you've been working on something for weeks or months or years. And I just wonder, how many of those projects do you have cooking at any one time, and how do you decide what you're going to turn into a long form project? And a special shout out, I know this wasn't a long form project, but the one about the bagels I really loved. So I hope you're going to maybe consider doing newsletters again, but the YouTube format is great too. And yeah, big fan. Thanks for doing what you do. Bye.
Nice. Thank you. Thanks for the call. I appreciate that. The bagels, the poppy seed bagels. You ever look at a poppy seed up close, what they looked like when you really go in with a macro lens? I might do some of those old newsletter stories as videos, sort of have that planned. So look out for that. I'm glad you like the newsletter. I don't know. I'm just probably never going to do a newsletter again, although I never say never. Maybe if someone wants to work totally for free and turn some of these videos into newsletters, I think we could do something there. But yeah, I mean, that was tough. I do miss the newsletter, and it makes me feel good that so many people still think about it. But it was killing me towards the end. Regarding the time-based projects, I don't know. I have like 5 or 6 of those going simultaneously. I don't think I have anything new that's coming, but sometimes it takes a few years for those projects to emerge. So we'll see. But yeah, I mean, that's that. Thanks for the call. Let's do another one.
Hey, Noah, this is Max. I had a weird idea for you on your Everyday series. It might be kind of fun to take out 1 or 2 photos from different years of your life and just highlight them from your Everyday series. So maybe there's something that happened to you and you could give some thought process to maybe what you were thinking on those days versus just the time lapse of everything that's happened. So I think that would kind of add some deeper context to the overall series. And maybe you've already done this, or maybe you're totally against it. Totally understand. Just thought I'd share. Thanks. Bye.
Thanks, Max. Yeah, good question. We have thought about that. When I worked on the Everyday.photos website, which was started as an NFT project, actually, the guys who were working on that with me wanted me to do stuff like that where we talk about certain days. And I guess my only hesitation with it is that it feels like it's something that someone does right before they die or something. It just feels too soon for me to want to go and look at specific days of my life and tell a story about it. And there's all this other better stuff, I think, that I can do. So I don't know. That's my hesitation with it. I don't think it's a bad idea. I just don't know if I want to do it. So now that I said that, look out. Next week, I'll probably do it. Next caller.
Hi, Noah. It's Verona. I have a question. I love how you use the light and shadow in the photography. I really want to learn photography just as a hobby. So do you recommend someone that teaches like intro to photography on YouTube, or someone that you admire that does that online? I would prefer YouTube, but maybe you want to do it. Like, I don't know. I'm just trying to take better photos knowing the camera. Like, I am very intuitive. I'm just doing what I can, but there's a lot of buttons that I don't use. So thank you so much, and I love your videos. Bye.
Thank you, Verona. Great call. Yeah, I don't really know anyone on YouTube that teaches that I can recommend. I'm sure someone exists who's really amazing. I think you just have to search around and find the person who you feel like you most relate to. It's not going to be me. I don't really have the patience to teach people how to use a camera. My main suggestion would be to just take as many photos as you possibly can, and you're just going to learn by doing it. That's how most photographers do it. Really, you're just going to have to go out there and take pictures, and really don't worry about all the buttons on your cameras. Most of those buttons are not useful. There's only like 3 things you need to really touch. Yeah, that's it. Thank you. Good luck. I hope you find someone. And I'll probably start teaching photo next week too.
Hey Noah, it's Brian from back in the Tumblr days. I don't think we need to talk about that, but just giving a call. First, I just want to say to Peter from Germany that I really appreciate his enthusiasm. He really brings something to the show, so I hope he can make more appearances. But I'm calling because at the end of the last Hotline show, you did the like, the subscribe, all of that stuff, and I was about to like just turn it off, but then you paused and you said something that kind of spoke directly to me. You said, "Go for a walk, eat a sandwich, any of that works." So I'm just curious about this little cone, the Zen cone that you're trying, that you gave at the end of the Hotline show. What's up with that? Because I went out for a walking. I like walking. So I did that, and when I was walking, I didn't want to eat a sandwich. So that part didn't work out. But I think that's kind of the point of the cone, because if I go for the walk, I don't have to eat the sandwich because any of it works. So what's your interpretation of that? Thank you.
Brian, thank you for calling. I appreciate it. Love hearing from you. Miss you. Come back to New York. What's a Zen cone? Is that like the triangle hierarchy of needs or something? I have no idea what that is, and I didn't want to look it up. When I said go take a walk, I mean it. I feel like the last thing anyone should do is spend time on the internet, especially these days, considering nothing is serious anymore. So yeah, of course, everyone should like, subscribe, but really go do anything else. And when I do say take a walk, I always think about you. You are my #1 walking champion in the world. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. That's it. Thanks for calling. Love to hear from you. Maybe we'll talk again.
Hello, Nova. It's Peter from Germany again. I have a new question. I love Disneyland, and I know that you took pictures at Disneyland for a project. I would love to hear more about the project and where I can see it. Thank you.
Thanks, Peter. Thanks for calling. That's 3 in a row. I love it. If you go to noahkalina.com/Disney, a bunch of photos are there. That was an amazing project I did with Disney World. Disney World is in Florida. Disneyland is in California. Everyone makes that mistake. This was fully done at Disney World, and it was actually a Tumblr project. So we did the photos that they would eventually put on their Tumblr. And I basically had free reign to do whatever I wanted. They just asked, what do you want to do? So I made pictures of the characters sort of after dark or before the park opened, which was a lot of fun and really interesting. I also did one project that they never used because it's kind of weird, but I asked if I could ride all the roller coasters and look like I'm not having fun, and then buy the photos that they take while you're on the ride and just use that sort of as like a self-portrait project. And they went for it at the time we did it, and mostly because during the whole day at the park, I wasn't shooting because the light sun during the day is terrible, especially in Florida. So we did these roller coaster photos. Here's one. All the people were released. They knew the project was happening, so we had them sign model releases. But I think that got killed in the edit. Or not the edit, just like they were like, that's too weird. We're not going to post it. Thanks for calling again. Maybe call next week.
Hey Noah, it's James calling. Third time. Hopefully it's the charm. I was gonna say what I said last time, but it got me thinking about rejection, loss, moving on. In your magnum opus, you had a song playing over the time lapse, which I believe was composed by your former girlfriend. Can you speak to how you feel about that? Do you wish you had someone else unaffiliated with you to compose it instead? Do you regret featuring any of the people in the background of your photographs? Just more importantly, how have you dealt with rejection, loss, moving on? Would love your insight. Hopefully I won't have to make another call, but thanks. Appreciate the videos. Bye.
James, thanks for calling. I appreciate it. I was never rejecting you. Just not every call makes the cut every week. There's not enough time. I could make these shows hours long and, nobody's going to watch it. So rejection, well, time just heals all wounds. It's a cliche, but it's true. I have no ill will towards Carly. I'm glad that we collaborated on that together in that song. In fact, she has a new version of that everyday song out today. I'll link to it below. It's done in strings. It's really kind of amazing. So people should check that out. That's a coincidence. But yeah, I'm glad she did it, and I'm glad she had success with that song. Obviously, there's music and rights issues that happened, but whatever, we just get over these things. The people behind me, it's personal history. I'm glad, even if I don't have relationships with these people anymore, it was part of my life, and that's cool and nice. And I think now people try to get behind me in the photos, and that's fun. Thanks for calling. Call back again. Next call.
Hey Noah, this is Nick calling back. I just want two questions for you. One, I just saw Casey Neistat's video where he's talking about the new Apple goggles, those wearable AR things. Just curious your thoughts, if you've seen anything about it. I don't know, relative to photography or just, walking around the world in general. It's pretty wild to me, that level of, where technology is going, and I don't know. It'll be interesting to see where it goes from here. But just your thoughts in general would be cool. And then secondly, what do you have a favorite breakfast, and what is it? Have a good one. See ya.
Hey, Nick, thanks for calling back. Breakfast, probably everything bagel with cream cheese, not toasted unless it needs to be toasted. And regarding the Vision Quest Pro, yeah, amazing. Casey Neistat, I think his review might be the best one, or at least the most interesting, going out into the city and wearing it, which is what I think ultimately what that thing will become, something you wear and it's a AR experience over a VR experience. Although I like both. I actually really love VR. I have the old Meta Quest thing, although it broke, but the games in it are just unbelievable. It's such a fun experience. And as soon as those things get super light and we're wearing it, everyone will have them. Is this good or bad? I don't know. We're getting old. So, it feels like technology is leaving us behind. And we just don't get it. But, the kids are going to love it. And hopefully us old people can embrace it. I think there is going to be stuff that we'll be able to use and it will enhance our lives. I would buy one of those Vision Quest Pros if it was cheaper. And maybe I will get one, but probably not. But maybe, I don't know. but eventually, definitely. Next call.
Hello, Noah. This is Caleb. I've really been enjoying what you've been producing so far. I really like the leisurely pace of your videos, and the more unrefined nature harkens back to the early days of the internet. I just had a few questions. First, how did you first discover your passion for photography, and was it something that clicked right away as what you wanted to do for a career, or did it take some time to really sink in? Second, where would you draw the line between art and content? Like, when would you say art becomes content or content becomes art? And is there any crossover between the two? Anyway, that's all. Keep up the good work, and thank you.
Amazing call, Caleb. Thank you. I got into photography in high school, and we had a really great photo teacher, and it was like where the cool kids hung out, or at least what I thought was the cool kids. And it just clicked for me. I wanted to get into art, or at least I was attracted to art and music at the time, and I wasn't good at normal school stuff, like, smart people things like math and reading. So it just seemed like a place for me. And I feel like I would naturally was good at composition. I think it just like I can frame something, I think, really well. And it just worked. And it was something I wanted to pursue as naively as that was at that time, because I didn't really even know what becoming a photographer really even could have meant for the rest of my life. But I just went with it. And I had parents who helped encourage and support me in that decision. Content and art. This is a big topic. It could almost be a whole show. I mean, content. A lot of the times, just any form of entertainment is content. Comedy is content. So much YouTube stuff is content. Is it art too? Well, I don't know. It could be. It depends on who's judging it, I guess, and what the point of it is, and what the intention of the person who's making it is. I certainly like to think that everything I do is artistic, but it might not always be art. But I think also you can take things that weren't made as art initially and then look back on them and then see them as art. Content these days on the internet, I think we know it when we see it. It's just there to fill a space, and it has no meaning. It's just filler, internet filler. And I hope that's not what I'm doing most of the time. I think we'll talk about this more because it's a good question. Thank you. Thank you for calling. Well, I'll think about that. Last call.
Hey, no, it's Wayne. Just wanted to fanboy the channel for a second. I've seen most of the episodes, and you already have a unique thing here, totally different tempo than anything else. It's the Velvet Underground of YouTube channels. Not a huge audience yet, but everyone will pretend they were an early subscriber. Thank you, and stay warm.
Wayne, thank you. The Velvet Underground of YouTube channels. We are going to quote that. We'll use it somewhere, maybe. And I think that it's a good thing, right? It's sort of like a underground band that cool people know exists, but no matter how many times you try to tell people how good it is, maybe they try and they don't get it. So the band never really breaks through, but it inspires so many other artists to do things, and they're the ones who break through and become rich and famous. At least that's my understanding of the Velvet Underground. I never listened to them. So I don't know. Someone once said I looked like Lou Reed. But yeah, I mean, we'll see. Thank you. I hope we'll see what happens here. It's small, but maybe it'll get too big and I'll get a huge ego and ruin everything. Thanks for calling. That's the calls for this week. I think we did it. do all the stuff like subscribe, tell a friend, call a friend. What else is there to do? Of course, call the hotline for next week. We'll answer calls again. That's it. Thanks. Have a great weekend. I'll see you next week, probably. I think I have like maybe 1 or 2 ideas left, and then I think I'm done. Like, that's it. Just how much more? Phone keeps ringing. Hello?